Your habits aren't the problem, your identity is. See, people try to fix the habits, but they automatically keep snapping back because the identity hasn't changed, it is the same. You think you are this person, so you're going to act like that person. You need to point at something and have a point of difference to know this is who I am and this is where I want to go. You don't get what you want in life, you get who you are being. See, I didn't change by force. I changed by seeing myself differently. When I stopped seeing myself as someone that was broken and a victim and a failure and someone that was rebuilding my life and understanding who I truly was, everything shifted. And it is hard because there's the patterns that we have, the old cycles. I was stuck in old cycles of dealing with my own issues by numbing the pain with drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography. Then I would try to become sober and I would relapse. And I would relapse easily because I still had the mindset of someone that was a victim, was a failure, that felt inferior in a lot of ways, and I had to ease my pain with these vices. Also, I'd self-sabotage myself all the time. A lot of people can relate to this. I just see myself, falling back to these habits automatically. Like it was an automatic thing. And I just couldn't stop it. And the more that I fell into it, the more depressed I got and more down. And it just created a toxic loop. But it wasn't until I started to realize my true identity underneath it all that I realized that I had the power to change. We are all creators. We are all part of the universe or God, whatever you want to call it. We all have the potential to create the life we want, but we don't get what we want. We get who we are being. This is key one. Identity always comes first. You don't fall to your goals, you will always fall to your default identity. So what I mean by that is people will act in alignment with who they believe they are. Like I just said before, I believed I was broken and I was, an alcoholic or a cokehead or a sex fiend or whatever. So because I saw myself as that, my behavior reflected that as well. But two, the old identity doesn't disappear quietly. Let me tell you that. So it's because it wants comfort, it wants familiarity. You've set such a standard of ease that of course it wants to stay there. It's easy, but nothing great is going to come from ease. And you get into the negotiation. So there's that voice in your head saying, hey, why don't we do this? Or why don't we do that? And, the old identity is always going to win because it knows you so well. It's going to say, just one more time, you'll be all right. And the other one is, we'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start. But one more good one more, bender, or one more corn hub session, or whatever it is, I'll start tomorrow. But then what happens? Tomorrow never comes. Key 3. The new identity is built by votes. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is every small action that you take is a vote to the person you're becoming. Yes? So it's making tiny promises to yourself on a daily basis. It's consistency and consistent wins on a moment-to-moment basis, and then that turns into daily, which turns into weekly, which turns into monthly, which turns into the normality of who you are now. It's not just motivation. You must have a system in place to keep you pushing forward and to have a gap between the behaviors and patterns of who you once were and who you are now becoming. So this is the most important part of the video. So if you haven't switched off, well done. This is the good stuff. So what we need to do from here on out is 3 daily identity repetitions. So 3 identity reps. Just like the reps in the gym, you have to do over time to become stronger. These are the reps that you have to implement on a daily basis, 3 of them for your new identity. Rep 1 is you keep 1 small promise to yourself. So 1 promise kept is identity reinforcement, if you know what I mean. So as an example, it could be something basic, a walk. It could be training. It could be putting boundaries on how much time you're spending with your phone in front of your face. Also, you could keep a promise to yourself that you're going to go to bed at a certain time and turn the screen off an hour before the bed. But that's up to you what rep you want to choose. So that's rep 1. Rep 2 is non-resistance. So you need to stop fighting the old self. You need to just become aware of it and allow it to be. Because when you resist it, it persists. Like, have you heard that saying, what you resist persists? So when it does pop up and you see the negotiations start to happen, you see the one more day, just one more time, or whatever that is, start to realize that that's the old self coming up. You don't have to fight it. Just simply become aware of it and don't resist it. Become aware and let it pass. So a good way to learn how to become aware of it is meditation. Or if not meditation, just sitting by yourself in nature, nice and quiet, let the urges come up. Because the more aware that you can become, it's the more aware of the enemy, of who you used to be coming up. And then you can shift to where you want to go. So yeah, if you can meditate and fully accept and fully sit there with these urges, then they will release over time because you're not resisting it anymore. Because you're not resisting it, it doesn't persist anymore. Rep 3, and this is the most important rep. So aligned action and reactions. So ask yourself, what would the new version of me do here? Okay, so what I mean by that is, how would the new version, the version that you're trying to become, react or act in that situation? So if someone called you up and said, hey, we're smoking tonight, you want to come around for, this, have a few treats, have a few smokes, whatever, are you going to respond as the old you or the new you that you're becoming? If someone, say, cuts you off in traffic and the old you is someone that's super reactive, that can't control their emotions and flips out and honks the horn and goes crazy at the person, right? Or do you react with calm stillness and don't even react at all? Because that's where you want to go. It all depends on what your goal is, but you're always going to fall back to the old identity. So in those moments throughout the day, are you reacting as the old self, or are you reacting as the new self? This is the most important one, and that's rep 3. And if you really want this to stick, you're going to have to get the reps in for this too. So you're going to have to work on your subconscious mind or your unconscious programming that you've been fed through years of your life, society, parents, etc., right? So by meditation, as I mentioned, I actually just dropped a meditation, a 7-minute self-concept meditation for non-resistance and release to create more space within you. So check that out. if you want to have a crack at that, and you have to stay consistent with it. So you could use my meditation, or you could use anything else that's going to help you become in the moment, aware of the old self, non-resistant to the old self, and then eventually you'll start to release it because you're so aware of it. The biggest key to all of this, though, is you don't need to become someone else. You just need to become consistent with who you truly are underneath all this noise and all this nonsense. Because underneath it all, who you are is an aspect of the all, the universe, God, consciousness, flow, chi, energy, whatever you want to call it, right? But you have been so disconnected for so long that you have looked to the outside of yourself for fulfillment. But fulfillment is within. Once you get rid of the noise and go within, you're going to realize that the kingdom is within and you wear the crown. So thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. Comment below what part of this video resonated with you the most, and come back for next time. See ya.